What's up guys, Alex from FIFA Scouting Tips here, and today I'm going to show you how you can scout your own players without even promoting them from the academy. This was suggested to me by Tony Fox on Facebook, as well as a few other people in the past, so thanks to everyone who prompted me to do this. Basically, the idea is that you can scout your own youth players by searching for them in the transfer market. So we'll take a look at this player here, Sergio Mendes. So what you want to do is search for this player's name, and as we can see here, there's one result for Sergio Mendes, attacking midfielder who is 16 years old. So we know that checks out with what our player had in the youth academy. So when we select him, we know he's not a real player because aside from the generated face, his club badge and team name in the top right corner are a bit broken. They obviously don't match any real team in the game. So before we actually get into scouting him, if we bring up his information here, we can see that in this instance he has a potential status, and this time it is has potential to be special, which means that his potential is at least 91. It's the best potential status you can get, so he should be a very decent player with a very good overall. So let's tell our scout to take a look at him so we can find out exactly how good he is. This is a great way to see your scouted players overall before they are promoted. You could just ask though, why can't you just promote your players? That way you can see their stats and it's much quicker than scouting them. And the answer is that you can't do that with 15-year-old players like this who are too young to be promoted. But by scouting them you can still find out how good they are. So let's try that with this player, George Gavilan. Here he is, and as you can see it's telling us that he is 15. Now normally you can't find players this young in the game, but thanks to this glitch you can. So here he is, he's a right midfielder, and like I said, 15 years old. So we have here another player with a potential status. This time it is an exciting prospect. So the good thing about this is that you can even see how good they're going to be, maybe even before the potential range has narrowed down in your youth academy. So you get a very good, very early impression of how good they're going to be when you promote them. So we're going to tell our scout to look at this player as well. So now we've found our two players and told our scout to look at them, so let's see how they look when our scout reports back. So our scout is now finished, so let's have a look at how these players are. So if we select the first one, George Gavilan, we can see that he's rated 69 at 15 years old. That is a ridiculously good overall for that age. And if we move to the right, we can see his stats here as well. So he's not got amazing physical stats as you kind of expect with a scouted player, but he's got very decent technical stats, especially considering, like I said, that he's just 15 years old, so he looks like a superb player. Next up we have this guy here, Sergio Mendes, who was 16 and he is rated 72, so another really good player for his age. And his technical stats, just like Gavilan's, are very impressive, and his physical stats aren't as good, but it doesn't matter too much because he looks like he is still going to be a very good player. So this method is really good for finding out player stats, but what about things like skill moves and weak foot ability? Well, you can do that as well. You just need to add the players to your shortlist. Once you've done that, all you got to do is push in the right analog stick and move through to their stats and their information, and there you go, you can see it right there. Left footed, 2-star weak foot and 3-star skill moves. It also shows their attacking work rate, defensive work rate, and all their other stats that you normally wouldn't be able to see if you just looked at them in the transfer screen. Let's have a look at the next guy, Sergio Mendes, and he has some very decent stuff there as well, 5-star skill moves. So this is really useful for finding out these kind of very decent information that you don't get from the youth academy either. It doesn't show their weak foot or skill moves in the youth academy, and it also shows here in the shortlist their valuation too, so you get a good idea of how much they're going to be worth in case you wanted to sell them. Now interestingly, you can even do this with youth players that aren't in your own academy. So for example, this player here is not one of my youth players, but he still has the broken badge and club name and a generated face as well, so it shows that he's not a real player. So let's scout this guy and see what he's like. So it turns out that he's not amazing, but nevertheless it suggests that he is a youth player in another team's academy. So I simmed forward a few seasons and he still had a broken badge and team name, so I don't know at what point he will appear on a real team, but it's an interesting indication that your own youth players don't appear to be the only ones in the game. Just know that it's really hard to find players like this. You have to get their name, you can't just search them using traditional parameters. So if I tried that here, we got no results, it doesn't work, even though that matched what that player had, his nationality, his age, his position, all that kind of stuff. So that makes it even more mysterious and suggests that these players are not in the game as professional players, but are hidden and unavailable in the same way that your own youth players are until you promote them. So if you guys have any ideas about these players or any more tips on scouting your own players in general, make sure you leave them in the comments. Anyway, this has been my quick tutorial on how you can scout your own youth players and possibly even those on other teams. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and thanks for watching. But I've been having bad luck with the impact engine all game, and look at that. Nice little pirouette from Wallace there.